morning, everyone. This is just a quick walkthrough, sort of quick walkthrough of what a day in my life looks like. I probably filmed this about a month ago, and so it's taken me some time to get it all edited and put together, to find the music, and now do the voiceover. I'm pretty pregnant at the moment. I think I have 7 weeks left right now, so yeah, it's been about a month since this recording. On this particular day, I decided to start off by feeding my sourdough starters. I have two. I have one that is a whole wheat flour and another one that is an all-purpose flour, and I try to keep up on both of them. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep the whole wheat flour one because it doesn't grow as quickly as the other one, and so I find that it takes more time to get around to baking something, and I'm kind of an impatient person, so we'll see if I keep them both up. But for now, they're both running, and I try to make something with both of them pretty regularly. It is technically spring right now, but since we live in Arizona, it is starting to get pretty hot already, which is good for the sourdough starters, bad for my pregnancy. I knew that we were getting pregnant a little later than I wanted, and I will be due to give birth in June, which is okay. It's not like the absolute top heat of summer, but it is going to be a difficult road getting there right now. While the sourdough starter is growing, my daughter came down from getting some of her chores done to help me make some loaves of just regular sandwich bread. It's a pretty easy recipe, and it takes about 2.5 hours to finish. It rises for 2 hours and then cooks for 30 minutes. And I enjoy doing this with my daughter because she really enjoys learning how to cook. It can be very messy, but it's always worth it to spend some time with her in the morning. So once I get started with something that's going to be either rising for a while or cooking in the morning, I start off with our breakfast. Today I decided to make a green smoothie, and I had some leftover sourdough biscuits. So I threw the smoothie together first, and then I got the biscuits that had been cooked already. I made this blueberry jam without using pectin. It was my first time trying to do a jam without pectin. I had made a strawberry jam with pectin the week before, and it just turned out horrible. I don't know if I just used the wrong amount of pectin or the wrong kind or what, but it was so rubbery and so jelly-like that I was just not impressed. And I decided to try to make a blueberry jam without pectin to see what happened. I made 3.5 jars, and we have already made it to we made it through the half jar, another full jar, and now we're on the third one. So it has really won over my family, and I'm very happy about that. Usually by the time breakfast is over, it will be time to move whatever is rising over to the loaf pans, or I might have to stretch it. It takes some time to get used to doing either sourdough or breads in the morning and keeping control of how much time that's taking and how much time you have to be able to finish it, and keeping your other chores going along. Since I homeschool my kids, I try to get as much done before 9 o'clock as I can, and then by the time it gets to 9 o'clock, it's a good time to start school, and I usually just have to put something in the oven and take it out by that point. So then we get started with our school day, and I have 3 kids under the age of 7. My oldest just turned 7, so there's a 7, a 5, and a 3-year-old, and I'm pregnant with our 4th now, as I said. So I have lists for them to do, and I just tell them to kind of get started, and I'll bounce around from kid to kid, but they're getting pretty good at doing it on their own. So I decided today that I wanted to tackle a project that I've been kind of putting off. A couple weeks ago, I went to open the blinds in our kitchen, which is like in the front of our house, so you can see in from the street. And the whole thing just came toppling down, and it was ruined. And we wanted to put drapes there instead of having the blinds. So I was like, okay, well, now's the opportunity to do it. But I had to order some fabric, and I was having trouble finding exactly the fabric I wanted, and was trying to decide whether I should make some drapes or just buy some. And I decided I was going to make them. So this has been a long time coming. We have had our kitchen open to the world day and night, and I am excited to finally get these up so that we can have a little bit more privacy in our home. So remember what I said about keeping control of what's going on in your house and making sure you're keeping up on all of those timers that are going on? This is what I had to do. So I left the bread, I let it rise while I was sewing. All of the alarms were going off, and I put the bread in, took it out, partway through sewing some more, and by then it was about lunchtime. So we kind of dove right into making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with the bread that I had made that morning.
You done?
No.
So following lunch, we tackled some of the kids' projects. These are things that they like to do outside of school to kind of build skills and learn some new crafts. My oldest daughter has been working on seed bead bracelets. This is the first one that she made. Since then, she has made, I think, 4 more, and she's been really loving it, and we're finally gonna jump into another project pretty soon here. My son has been working on woodworking using a saw to cut all of his pieces just to the right length, and today we were building a truck out of all of the pieces that he had. My daughter very kindly made this bracelet for me. It is so cute. Not really my colors, but I love it. Because I am wildly pregnant, my husband has been amazing in helping me finish a lot of the projects around the house. So I was able to finish these drapes that afternoon, and he helped me to put them up later, which was just so wonderful of him to do for me. And I love them. I love that the light comes through them a little bit, and the color is gorgeous. By the end of the day, my sourdough starter had finally grown to the size I needed it, so I got to work making a loaf for the next morning so I could cook it the next morning and we would have it ready for the next day. And it takes a little bit of work over the course of the night. You have to fold it a few times, but it's worth it in the morning. So this is the next morning, me getting it put together, cooking it. And lastly, I'll just show you a little look at my son's truck that he finished making the day before that he was very proud of. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys again in the next video.